Hello once again and welcome to today's tutorial. Just as we said in the previous tutorial, in this tutorial we'll learn how to create a presentation. It will be basically adding slides, adding text, deleting slides, rearranging them and what have you. So Microsoft is very smart in the way they do their things. You can see that everything here has been arranged in a very logical manner. They know very well that you're going to add in creating your presentation, you'll be adding slides, so they make sure that the slides group is first. Then they know very well that after adding the slides, you would want to edit the font sizes, and they make sure that this font group is second. After editing it, you'd want to format it. You want to make sure that your sentences are properly aligned and are well oriented actually. So they make sure that the paragraph group is also there. Moving on, they've kept these tabs over here also arranged in a very logical manner. They know once you are done with your text, adding text, you're going to want to insert some pictures or videos. So they make sure that the insert button is here. So the insert tab, it's the tab where you can insert tables, you can insert tables, you can add pictures, you can add shapes, you can add certain special text, multimedia, you can add symbols and a whole lot. So they make sure that it's actually the second thing. Moving on, we have our design tab here. So in our design tab, it's some form of a theme. Let's say you don't like the way this is just so basic, you don't like the way it's white, you can decide to come to the design tab and select from the varieties of designs the one you think is more suitable or nicer. So let's see. Okay, let's use this one for now. So we're going to use this, and you can select it by just single clicking on it, and it will be open for you. So knowing very well that you'd like to design it, they moved on to transition. So transition is a part where there's this fancy kind of shape moving on when you move on to the next slide. So for instance, I'm going to select this and put on this push transition here. I'll select that next and I'll put, let's say, some random bars transition there. So that's just how it is. Talk about animation and so on. So let's move on to our agenda for today, the main reason why we're here today, and that's to add slides, add text, and also rearrange, delete, and what have you. So now let's move on. Let's start with adding slides. I'm going to just, can I take all this off at once? Good. So let's start with adding text to a slide. So when you open your Microsoft presentation first, you're going to see this text box here. If you want to add text to the slide, you can just click on this part and type in what you want. So as usual, I'm going to type in ultra blue channel. Good. And then you can choose to add a subtitle. If you don't, it doesn't matter, it won't appear, but let's add a subtitle. Let's say subscribe to the channel over here as our subtitle. So that's just how you add text to slides. Just click on it and you can start adding your slides. Let's open a new slide here. So in opening a new slide, there are different ways you could do that, and I would prefer we start with the basic ways of doing that. So you can come to the slide group here, and under slide group, when you click on this drop down menu, you can see that there are different ways, or would I say different appearances you could use depending on what you want to place there. If you wanted to place an image, you could use a blank slide. If you wanted some form of multimedia kind of slide, you could use this, for instance. But let's say we are going to use this. It's going to appear like this, and as usual, we have our text box here and another text box here. and we already learned how to add text to a slide. And adding text to a slide, just click here and then you add the text to your slide. So let's say PowerPoint, um, PowerPoint. So let's go to the second part. There are some icons down here, and these icons are just let me take this off. So these icons are just a quick way of adding certain things. Let's say if you wanted to add a table, this icon will insert a table for you over here. You can see this. So I'm going to go back. If you wanted to add a chart, if you wanted to add some form of pictures or videos, these guys are just a quick way of doing that. If you wanted to add a chart, you could use this and add a chart. So it's just, we are still not going deep on this. I'm just giving you an overview. That's how come I'm kind of in a hurry. So once we start going in details, I'm going to slow down and I'm going to explain everything in great detail. So that's just what those guys are used for. So I'm going to just go back as if nothing ever happened. So we just talked about adding new slides. Click here, new slide, then you select from the varieties you want. You can just click on the top here too, and it will be added to you. So that was it on adding slides. Now let's talk about deleting slides. So for instance, we have a little more slides than we need, and hence you wanted to get rid of certain slides. There are two ways of doing it. You can just come to the slide you want. Let's say I wanted to get rid of this one. So you can just hover over the slide, right click on it. Is it right? Yes, right click on it, then come to delete slide over here. Once you click on it, the slide will be taken off. So I'm going to delete more slides here by right clicking on it and coming to delete slide and deleting it. Conversely, if you wanted to delete slide but you didn't want to go over the headache of coming to the slide, right clicking on it and deleting slide, you can just highlight the slide and on your keyboard press delete key. So highlight the slide and check on your keyboard. You're going to find delete key. Usually at the top right corner of your keyboard, you see delete key. And just by pressing the delete key once, you get rid of the slide. So that's how you get rid of a slide. So let's say, okay, yes, let's add rearranging the slide. We already talked about this in our previous tutorial, but I think it was not done in great detail. So let's say we had some few slides here and we wanted to rearrange them. So in rearranging the slides, all you have to do is hover over to the slide you wanted to rearrange. Click and hold, then drag. Hover over to the slide, left click, hold it, then drag. So that's how it is. That's how you rearrange the slides. You can bring this there, send that there, bring this there, and stuff like that. So in case you were making a presentation and you mistakenly exchange two forms of information, an information which has to be on top before the preceding ones, you don't have to delete the whole slide and go through the headache of doing it again. Just by rearranging it will be done for you. So that's just how it is in rearranging a slide. And I guess that's what we aimed at achieving today, and I think we've achieved it. We learned how to create a presentation by adding slides, by adding text to the slides, by deleting slides, and by rearranging them. So I think that's all for today's tutorial, and hopefully in the next tutorial we'll be talking about slide orientation. We'll talk about how to save a slide, how to save a presentation. We'll talk about adding slide numbers